Sista Morino in the house.
Every time that we watch the television, every time that we listen to the news, there's been another victim of this evil system. But there must be something we can do. There must be something we can do to change their mind from this war and crime, to find a solution for the next generation, because them gone mad out the street, mad out the street.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's a track by Desi D called Madness in the Street. Big tune, you know.
The Bible said you should not kill. You should not kill. Then why you turn murderer? Why you turn murderer? I had a vision last night, and in my vision I dreamt I saw 1,000 youth throw away their gun and decided to turn from war and crime. And in my vision I saw the youth them decided to live good and drive together in love and unity. And what a vision it was in my dream. Every time that I watch the television, every time that we listen to the news, somebody get murdered. Them life can't go no further. Every time that we watch the television, every time that we listen to the news, there's been another victim of this corrupt system. Them gone mad out the street, mad out the street. Claim a turn murderer, lots of them a turn murderer. The Bible said you should not kill, you should not kill. Then why you turn murderer? Why you turn murderer? The people them gone mad out the street, mad out the street. Them a turn murderer. Enough of them a turn murderer.
Yes, yes, Desi D. Yeah, Mad at a Street. That is such a good tune. I love that. Yes, you're with Sista Morino today. Yes, it's Tuesday afternoon. Many thanks for your presence. And like I usually like to say, I give praise to the Most High. Yeah, we just thank him and her, the balance, for being with us. You know, just, yeah, it's just good to be here this afternoon. How you doing, everybody? Yeah. I'm going to play another tune here by another brother I had on the show recently, and that's Brother Barry Dread. And I said I love the album Bread Basket, so I just want to play this tune as well, Bread Basket.
Africa, bread basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat, yeah. Africa, bread basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat. Africa, bread basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat, yeah. Africa, bread basket of the world, and everyone I eat out I eat. I see my brothers fighting somebody else's war. I see my sisters struggling with no milk on their breast. Them a busting ancestors calling from the bottom of the ships. And the spirit of Marcos say, rise up, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, except for we, oh, except for we. Them burn, them loot, them plunder, and take without consent to build the banks and the cities while we feel the prison cells. Yeah, I hear my ancestors calling from the bottom of the ships, and the spirit of Marcos say, rise up, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, yeah. Africa, the basket of the world. And everyone I eat out, I eat, except for we, oh, except for we.
Yes, that was Barry Dread, Bread Basket of the World. Yes, no, actually, Bread Basket, actually. Thank you, Brother Barry. That was a beautiful tune. Thank you for that song itself. So that is nice. Yeah, let me turn that music off a little bit. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm here today. Yes, it's Sista Morino show. I'm going to be playing a lot more music today. The focus is a little bit more meditative today, but because I'm there thinking about the many problems we have kind of communicating with each other and how much that is a struggle. Because I keep talking about 400 years of slavery, and I realise that 400 years of slavery really doesn't make a difference if people's minds, are not in the right places. And one of the most important things we need is education to unlock all the mysticism around the way we behave and why we're not doing as well as we could be doing in the Western world. But when you do really realise why you're not doing as well, or if you even care to remember, because sometimes it's just a lot, you can't imagine that it could be true. But for us, troopers and warriors out here who see people transitioning in England and in the West, they're transitioning in ways, what am I saying? Start again. Basically what I'm saying is that we have no liberation here, and yet we're our own worst enemy. And it was designed to be like that, but yet at the same time you don't want it to be like that, and you don't expect others to feel that way about your one another. But we struggle with relationships. Relationships is difficult. People misunderstand things a lot. People get paranoid about things, insecure about many things. So communication in our community can sometimes be incredibly difficult, and it could just be for nothing. We could just get into little tidbits for no reason. But anyway, so yeah, I am here not talking very much. Like I said, I'm going to spend a little bit more time with the music, because sometimes you don't need to talk. I think a lot of us have heard so much information over and over again. But at the same time, it's important because life is changing, and you don't want to be caught up without knowledge of what's really going on. Knowledge is important. So I know I did history at uni, and I've forgotten loads of things that I did at uni. But I was just looking back on the 1884 Berlin Conference, which a lady on YouTube kind of drew my attention to it again. I totally forgot about it. But yeah, there was a Berlin conference headed by Bismarck in Germany, and at this time in 1884, 14 countries in particular convened to work out how they could dissect Africa and turn it into these small areas where those in Africa would not be able to connect with one side of Africa, because they would use, they'd be taught different languages, different cultures, different customs. Some of the customs would be so opposing to one another that it would help, the colonizer to have more control over the area. So that was planned in 1884. I think they spent about 6 months plundering their plans. I mean, there are some writings with regards to the 1884 Berlin conference that happened there in Germany. And as you can imagine, in 1865, across the ocean, they had freed the slaves. They had emancipated the slaves physically, anyway. They had emancipated the slaves physically, and not even within 20 years, they were looking at how they could do the same thing to conquer Africa. And on that line, before I go on to some music, I'm there thinking to myself, these people, couldn't they find anything? Couldn't they innovate anything? Couldn't they consume anything else but the African soul, spirit, and enslave us? Is that the only thing they could come up with to do after slavery, to re-enslave us, to re-enslave the continent? It just sounds really crazy to me. Anyway, I want to play some more music, and I'll keep talking.
And my fans are regressing. Now I'm gonna make the river run dry. Yeah. As far as the wind blows from the west to the east side, I praises never cease, oh Lord. Emperor Selassie, I never sees the judgment, but the wicked man feed. I know them must get defeat, oh Lord. So get the youth, be wise. You don't enough, be wise, because I know Jaja bless me. No wicked heart can test me. No matter what they try, yo, Jah manifest me, and my fans are request me. Now I'm gonna make the river run dry. Why keep fighting in your mind when you know it cannot tell? Thoughts of you is so unkind. Wonder what is under your bed. The fool shall depart from his way, yeah. So clean up your heart, for you end up on the shelf. Jaja say, you should never diss the righteous. You never make it from you unjust. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't Jaja bless me. No wicked heart can test me. No matter what they try. Oh, I know Jah manifest me, and my fans are regress me. Now I'm gonna make the river run dry. Ooh, as far as the wind blows from the west to the east side, I praises never cease, oh Lord.
Emperor Selassie and the judgment never cease. And the wicked man feel. I know them must get defeat. Why, Get the youth be wise and open up your eyes. I know Jah bless me. No wicked heart can bless me. No matter how they try. Oh, Jah manifest me. And my fans are request me. Now they make the river run dry.
Yes, yes, Jah Cure. The man Jah Cure.
Especially for me, baby, we were meant to be. Finally, I am free, free from the hurt, free from the pain. Finally, I can see the beautiful sun that chased all the rain. I'm now rejoined by happiness, away from the hurt that made a man. My joy has been restored. How wonderful for me, smiling face and a heart that's free. Chased all the rain. You must be heaven sent, made specially for me. Baby, we were meant to be. Chased all the rain. Finally, yes, I am free, free from the hurt, free from the pain. Oh, oh, oh. I got away from loneliness. Have you, baby, I'm so blessed. You must be heaven sent, made specially for me. Baby, we were meant to be. Finally, I am free, free from the hurt, free from the pain. Finally, yes, I can see the beautiful sun that chased all the rain. Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes, that was Sanchez. Hi there, audience. This is Sista Morino at Bless Radio 1. Hoping everything is well with yourselves. I'm at Bless Radio 1 and we're talking about a little bit about the Berlin Conference. I didn't really want to make it a show, really, a talk show too much today. But yeah, I'm talking a little bit about meditating on the Berlin Conference and thinking about us in 2019 and thinking that, remembering actually, I feel like I'm just remembering that 1884 took place directly after slavery was proclaimed illegal in America in 1865, and then you know, very shortly after, they, you know, the Europeans like the Belgians, Leopold, and the Portuguese, the Germans, and the British were conspiring how they could, you know, plunder and steal from the motherland. So there hasn't really been any development in Europeans because they've only had one way of acquiring power, and that's by brutal force, murder and destruction to our communities. And to think that they had done it for such a long period of time at the end of the slavery in America and slavery here and in the Caribbean and everywhere in where slaves were, they were still conspiring to do more damage. I mean, before, at the time of slavery, I think they were more coastal in Africa. They had a lot more control over the coastal areas. But after the Berlin Conference, I think they were able to, you know, really plunder inwards in Africa, and they were systematic, and they definitely won that war. They actually were able to divide Africa into small pieces and teach them different languages and different cultures, religions and stuff like that. And they uprooted, obviously the Europeans uprooted their cultures and implemented their cultures by the gun, by control. And so all these other African leaders like Nkrumah, you know, Patrice Lumumba, all those that were interested in unifying Africa would have to come against all these intricate issues that we face. And the only reason I'm talking about that is because it's sometimes so difficult to speak to people. You know, they don't mean you any good. You can't be confident about nothing. You can't say, yeah, I'm gonna do A, B, and C without someone feeling insecure and creating problems. So that's why I don't really, I do little talking unnecessarily. You know, we have to find our own security. We need to change. And this is how they've done it in Africa, so that they could siphon off so much of the, you know, the raw materials. They've kept everyone divided, kept everyone arguing, kept everyone fighting, and kept the problem over there while they were digging here. So this is what we need to get on top of. And I know it's not going to be everybody that's going to get on top of it, but I think that if you don't get on top of it, I think the mental distresses will culminate, and it will be problematic to you. So live in fear that, you know, if you don't get with the program, and that is to be healthy, and that's learning how to unify, we're going to have continuous problems. So I'm going to let the music talk, because at the end of the day, it helps me to speak. All right, so another tune. Listen to this. It's a Sista Morino show. I'm on Bless Radio 1. Keep your head up. Unify, man. Come on, let's get some education and let's do better, because the Almighty blessed me today, and I'm really happy. It's not always up, and it's not always up. No one knows another man's story, but come on, we can do better than this. And one of the things that we can do is understand the issues, the strategies, the chess playing that they've used against us as Africans in the world. That you start to understand they've never stopped dividing and ruling. It's never stopped. It never ever stopped. So that's why I'm concerned. You know, that's why I'm concerned as to why we've assimilated so much. Who's assimilating? Why are so many of us running from who we are? You know, do we hate ourselves? Because I know I don't hate myself, you know. Trust me. I couldn't ask to be anybody else in this universe. For any nationality that lives a lovely life, that owns provinces, I would never choose to be any other race. I love who I am. It's simple as that. That's indelible within me. I ain't got no issues with who I am. And I wish so much more people didn't. but they have a problem. So I want to talk a little bit about the fact that Africa, the Caribbean, everywhere else has been strategically monetized by military force. It's never ended. It might not be as overt in one area, but they have different strategies in different areas, and that keeps all of us divided. Obviously, we all know this now. I'm pondering it because I still see the issues in our community where little things make people insecure about other people's things. But you should never be jealous of someone else's things. Just do your own thing and be content with what it is that you're doing. So let me continue with some music. Okay? We'll be back with some music, and Sista Morino will be back. Okay, enjoy. Yeah, that Sounds of Blackness. One of the greatest tunes when that came out. What a fantastic tune. Oh, yes. That was an amazing tune. Yeah, we love that tune, Sounds of Blackness. Love that tune. A little bit of love goes a long way.
Yes. Just hear me out this minute. Baby, I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt. You don't believe his stories. You know that they're all lies. Bad as you are, you stick around and I don't know why. If I was your man, baby, you never worry about what I do. I'll be coming home back to you every night, doing you right. You're the type of woman deserves good things. Wish for the diamonds, I have a ring. Baby, you're a star. I just wanna show you you are. You should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. Baby, you should let me love you, love you, love you. Let me love you. Oh, listen. Your true beauty description looks so good that it hurts. You're a dime plus 99 and it's a shame. Don't even know what you're worth. Everywhere you go, they stop and stare, cause you're bad and it shows. From your head to your toes, out of control. Baby, you know. If I was your man, baby, you never worry about what I do. I'll be coming home back to you every night. Baby, you know. You're the type of woman deserves good things. Yeah. I have the ring. Baby, you're a star. I just want you to know you should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. Baby, you should let me love you, love you, love you, love you, baby. Baby, you should let me. You deserve better, girl. No, you deserve better. We should be together, girl. Baby, with me and you, it's whatever, girl. So can we make this thing more? You should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. Baby, you should let me love you, love you, love you, let me love you from the bottom of my heart. You should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be.
Yes, that's Singing Melody. Yes, we're at Bless Radio 1 and you are with Sista Morino. I'm back in the house again on Tuesday giving some meditation to the Most High and playing some music that I think kind of works for the moment. So, yeah, it's all good. And the next tune will be Jacure. So, I love Love Is.
Yeah, you know, Rasta live. Universal sign.
Jacure.
Love is the answer, my friend. And love is the only way. Yeah, true love we can find ourselves. I call that true identity. You know? Love your brother, love your sister. Love one another, the universal sign. I take it from here.
Love
Love is the answer for every question. Just ask yourself why. Love is the key. Open the door when they're closing your face. Love shows you the way when you are lost and can't find your way. Love means much more to life than just words. Love means much more than to say you love. Love means call on me, brother. Love means call on me, sister. Love is the only thing we have to share. Don't you forget that. I hope you hear. Send him a message to you out there. I hope you get it clear. Yeah. Do not mistake my unmistakable sound. Whenever you see my face, always a smile counteracts them frown. Love is much more to life than just words. Love is much more than to say your love. Love is call on me, brother. Love is you better call on me, sister. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boy, 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 boy. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Love me.
Yes, that was Jacure. Yes. Thank you so much, young man. That was beautiful. Yeah, this is Sista Morino. I'm at Blessed Radio 1. Check us out on TuneIn. If you can't log in and subscribe through YouTube, just go through TuneIn. You'll find us there. You'll find Blessed Radio 1 there. There's a couple of platforms that we're on. Anyway, so today I didn't want to get into anything too deep. I think it's a much more meditative day. But I am talking about the Berlin Conference in 1884, and just maybe under 20 years after the blacks were freed from slavery in America, that the Europeans had, just to prove that the Europeans had no intentions of giving us freedom or giving us equality or paying any reparations. If they do that now, that's going to be a shock. But yeah, it's interesting that we're looking at how they conquered us from abroad and how they conquered Africa from within, and how they got puppet regimes in situations. And the worrying thing for me is that we see, I suppose, we've seen it over and over for so long, that either we're just too abused that we don't even know where we're at and who's the problem. We just blame each other because it's been going on for so long. You don't know who to blame, and the powers that be have got control over their situation. The sad part is that we have no control over our situation, but we can have control as individuals. We can make choices. Spiritually, we can convene with our ancestors and the Most High, and we can find direction. But you have to be of a good soul. You got to stop, being silly with your one another. It's so miserable. It's such a miserable thing to see us so undereducated with the way we communicate with each other. And like I said, I think some of the things that have really affected us is the fact that it's been continuous. Many believe that we were freed in 1865, and it was earlier in Britain and the Caribbean. Excuse me. But I'm just saying, where we are now, when you look at, my God, where was I? I must have been at a family function, and I realised, you know, from a Caribbean perspective, how many of my family members are married outside of their race. I'm talking about the men, I'm not talking about the women. And how many of the women are single, and how embarrassing it feels for me when I go to those things. It makes me cringe. I don't always necessarily want to go, but I think that over the years with these civil rights, you know, activities that we've had, where strong men and women were powerful in the struggle, everything works against that struggle now. And I feel like they've constantly been working out how to separate the male from the woman. And at this moment now, they can send in their troops now that the black man's over there and the black woman's over there. We don't like that. I don't like rubbish like that. And I don't like anyone getting in the way to stop things like that. So those things don't make me happy. They don't make me happy. I'd like some white woman to tell me why she needs to take over my position when I never asked to be in the UK in the first instance. I never asked you to go to Africa and take me out of Africa. I never asked you to go to Africa and pull everything out of it. And I never asked you to come to my door and be the wife of my son. Not that no, that's not happened. But what I'm saying is that we're at that point that they've moved us out of everything, and now you see black people, they seem so complicit with what other people are doing. I find that struggling. I know you got to let people do what they're doing, but and I'm not blaming mixed race people. I'm just saying to white women, you know, as well, mainly in white women. I know it's now the new craze is black women, but even with the white women, there was no need for them to replace black women, and I would always want to ask them why they felt that they needed to replace black women. You understand? Especially the amount of them that agreed. Have some empathy, you know, if you're really real. But you're not going to have empathy because a lot of these women were paid by the state to be a problem in our community, and that was just by design. So I'm not even too insulted, but black spaces, that's when you need black spaces, don't you? You need some black spaces, because the revolution is real. There has never been liberation for black people. Where was the liberation? It wasn't on the Emancipation Proclamation. That was more technological reasons why they got rid of the slaves, because they had better technology to reap harvest faster than humans could do. So they didn't. That wasn't the real reasoning behind it. And yet, without liberation, anywhere you see, particularly men, you know, you see particularly men succumbing to the compromise. I don't care how nice a person of a particular race is. That's all good. We love good people, but not one nation outside of ourselves responds to survival in the way in which we do. Not one, except for us. We're exceptional, you know, on so many levels. I know the atrocities are real, but the Most High is real as well. And I'm saying we're living in a time where we're separating the chaff from the wheat, you know. And I always want to bless the women, but the blessed women don't always want to bless women either. There's a real problem amongst women. I don't like it. Stop it, man. Leave me alone. Leave other people alone. Let them get on with their thing. Let people be. You know, don't judge people because they're confident, man. Stop that. It's not unnecessary. But what I am saying is that you can have all these different groups, but I really want to see the clarity and the clearness of the black man and woman. There is nothing like it for us. It's the most beautiful thing you could see. It brings forth what the Creator talked about even in the scrolls. So that, you know, everything about racism, imperialism, colonialism is about destroying us. And that can't happen, because I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to keep being honest. It's ridiculous that people have compromised. They've compromised because they're tired. Oh, you know, there's nothing we can do. We're beat up. Let's just lie down and die and let them have us, you know, and we don't care about our communities anymore. We don't care about the injustices. You're going to America. If a man gets an average sentence that a white man would get, he might get 5 years. The black man get 3 life sentences. That's real today. I don't know how people what I do think happens, though, I think that a lot of the time, the system knows what it's doing with trying to get people, kind of confused. Because sometimes when you do get into mixed relationships, you find that it neutralizes your voice. That's what I find. I think it neutralizes you. And you just got to accept that it does neutralize you. But I don't want to be neutralized by no voices. I know that we're in time of change. And I know that black women have struggled long and hard. And they deserve more. But I also know that there is a design mechanism going on for both of us out here. Because now women are doing the same thing as men are doing. And like I said, there would always be some levels of mixing going on, but it's not a major mixing. It's like a minor level. This kind of mixing that happens to black people. And, it's not just the bar lead or the soul leads that used to be out there that are mixing. We're talking about Rastafarians, put them in quotes. We're talking about Rastafarians. We are talking about all black people across the board. They haven't found liberation, but they liberate themselves in different fashions. Call me crazy. My name's Sista Morino, and I don't take back no talk. I'm really telling you the truth. I think we've got to understand how good these people are at starving us and giving us enticements that only add to compromising. And like I said, Africa's been compromised, but we have come to this situation where we're going full circle. I'm interested in those who are fully able to go full circle with the whole agenda of getting us and destroying us. First it was physical and they couldn't completely destroy us physically. Now they've gone inside the mind and through the heart and in the thinking. It's crazy. We have no liberation. They're teaching us about transgender being truthful. To my indelible soul, there is nothing like that. Every man has a right to do what he wants to do, absolutely. But that's not their agenda. Their agenda is to compromise you, not to make you live separate. That's not the plan. The plan is to make you compromise yourself. I told you I wasn't trying to get deep, and now I'm getting complicated. Right, I'm going to play some more music. This is Sista Morino on Bless Radio 1. Listen to this tune.
Yeah, Rasta live. The universal sign of love. Love.
Sorry about that.
The Bible said you should not kill. You should not kill. Then why you turn murderer? Why you turn murderer? Look at that. Every time that I watch the television, every time that I listen to the news, somebody get murdered. Their life can't go no further. Every time that we watch the television, every time that we listen to the news, there's been another victim of this evil system. But there must be something we can do. There must be something we can do to change their mind from this war and crime, to find a solution for the next generation.
Yes, yes, I played that tune earlier, you know, and Desi D, I bigged you up twice here today, so you can't say that I wasn't doing my thing for you. That's a track by Desi D. I think that's really a fantastic song. Um, yes, yes. So Desi, you got another tune off me, so that's all good. This is Old Man River by Dennis Brown. Hello there, this is Sista Morino in the house. How we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. The weather doesn't look that fantastic this afternoon, but nonetheless, it's been a really good day for me, and the meditation is good. I hope everyone is doing well. What is Sister Marino saying? Basically, what I'm saying is I was talking about the Berlin Conference, nothing major, but the Berlin Conference of 1884 being something that happened after slavery ended to prove that slavery was never ended at all for us. It's just now that we've learnt how strategic the Europeans colonists were with the fact that they wanted to make Africa cut into small pieces so it can be controlled, dominated, uproot their culture, uproot everything within, which I found it's really an incredible thing that's happened to Africa. I also, like I said before, think that slavery had its own curse. So those that left the continent brought a curse to all Africans on the earth. So in Africa, the curses came because I think they were still constantly taking, with the African companies taking different brothers and sisters like myself from the continent for a long period of time after their first action in 1619 or even prior to that. But what I'm saying now, we had so many freedom fighters, so many powerful freedom fighters, but I know we're living in the worst Sodom and Gomorrah. And for my concern is that we live amongst so many witches that are brought in by certain black people. When you think about Malcolm X being killed by 3 black men, there are these types of black people that love money. They love money, they love greed, they love to be better than the other person. So they will sell any of one of us out. So we have that. Some people that just want to do better. Not everybody that's black is black, is it? It's not a complexion or colour. It's not a complexion thing. It's whose heart and mind and spirit and soul is in the right place. They will get the biggest fight because they really want to change things. And a lot of us, because of the oppression and programming, you just want an easy life. You just want to say yes to everything. You want to accept everything that you don't see the real enemy. The real enemy are the European system that wants to tell you how to be, tell you who to accept. I mean, my concern is that now that you see a lot of people mixing, that they mix down to they're practically white, if slavery, which hasn't ended by 1815, then you're the same ancestors of the black people giving birth to mixed race, who then have white partners, and then they bring forth white children, will end up enslaving you. Have some common sense about your life. Come on, man. Seriously. I'm just saying, man. A lot of these people are not educated. I've got nieces and nephews, that have never been given any education from. You have to ask them, what are you educating them? If you're going to have a mixed relationship, what are you teaching them? You're teaching them what? People don't have an understanding, and it works against the culture. And that's hard, man, because we really are they've done a really good job on us. The Europeans are continuously doing a number, and now all they can put on television is this ancestry.com, and you got 20% black white in you, and you got this percent white in you. What kind of selling are they selling us about now? Because they're selling something that neutralizes black people from thinking that there is a real person killing you. They could have smiled in your face just now, and they're killing you tomorrow. That's a problem. But you look at us as black people, and you kind of get dismayed sometimes about who we really are. So I don't try to look at who we really are, but I know there are good people, smart people, people that were genuinely loved by the Most High. It's them people I'm really talking about there, that really mean each other good, we've got things to do. Africa's in problems. I want to be a part of assisting Africa in whichever way the ancestors or the Almighty wants me to assist in Africa. I want to assist in the Caribbean likewise, you understand me? I just don't want to be limited by the mind. What I am saying is that they're going against everything that makes black people who they are. And black people are special. Don't get it twisted. We are so special. And when you see a great black person, they're truly phenomenal. So I was just talking a little bit. I don't want to talk too deep about the Berlin Conference. I'm just saying to be awakened, man. I'm black to the day, man. I'm black. There's no liberation for me. There's no politics. There's no policies for me. You just had the Windrush situation yesterday, where it killed people just to hear that they weren't getting their births, they weren't going to get their money, and they had medical issues. They were going to get no money, and they'd be left to their own device. You know how much man that put in their grave. The horror of what these systems do to us, and will continue to do to us unless we break the curses in our behaviours and how we reconnect with the continent. I know there's divisions amongst Africans, but that's coming out of the designs of Europeans. Until we, unpick all the areas of concern, we're going to always have problems. But I love being a sister. I like the melanated. I like the melanated experience. The only thing that's lacking is the freedom of choice, when no one else it's got their gun over me. I think that that's really where that needs to change. That if they got guns, maybe Uganda's talking about nuclear weapons. They want to keep nuclear weapons. Yes, man, you got to keep everything that they need in Europe to take from your land. That nuclear weapons, you need what you need, because these things should never have happened in Africa, to the point where gosh, they've done a good job in Africa, and that's just not good. Anyway, I'm going to play some more music, and I'm not trying to be negative in any form or fashion. I believe in liberation. We've had 500, we've had no reparations, we've had nana, and yet with your unliberated self, you go into a situation where if you go into it, they're going to steal your culture and you'll be plundered forever. And the saddest thing is that maybe in 30 years' time, the one that's enslaving you is your grandchild, because he'll have very little melanin in him, and he won't have a very good perception of you unless you're playing a major part in their life. And like I said, I don't think a lot of people really care. They're about their own business, about what they want, and they don't really care about the whole culture as to being black or what that means. But I care. So I'm going to play something Sister Morino at Bless Radio 1. Yeah, it's Sister Morino at Bless Radio 1. Have a listen to this tune, Harder. Sister Morino. Yes, that was another Desi D tune. Yes, Desi, I'll big you up. Sister Morino in the house at Bless Radio 1. Yes, that was Bad Mind by Desi D. Yeah, that was Desi D in the house. Yeah, I'm going to just play one tune before I come back. We're coming to the conclusion. Time doesn't wait for anyone. I'm trying to say the right things at the right time and be proud to be black in this time, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. It might look hard, but let's focus on staying true to our identity. We are the kings and queens of creation. Why would I give that up? No matter what the struggle is.
I know that it's over, but I can't believe what
Hello there, it's Sista Morino in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I wasn't speaking too much. I was playing a lot more music today, which is all good as well, because music, word, sound and power comes from everything that is positive, and yeah, I'm glad to be here this afternoon. I was just contemplating the Berlin conference. I did history. I couldn't even remember it, to be honest with you, but yeah, the Berlin conference kind of makes us clearly know that the powers that be never intended for us to be free on any level. We can't ever make any reference points to the ending of slavery, because the reasons for the ending of slavery are totally different from what we think they are. But we already know what they are, because we still see that we're not humans. We're not treated as citizens. We're treated like how they can accumulate labor from us, exploit labor from us, just in the same way they exploit minerals or gold, which is in us anyway. So we've been treated like, nature, because we are natural people. And it's just sad to see the numbers of us who were in the struggle no longer in the struggle, because like I said, I think the less black people that marry each other neutralizes the cause. And I think that's the plan, to neutralize the cause. But I think that even if you are a single person, you can be like that amoeba cell, where you'll reproduce if there is no one to reproduce with you. So whereas I was looking more to the Rasta culture back in the day, and had high hopes for the Rasta culture to deliver, to fight for liberation, I've just seen across the board in black people, I've seen a massive compromise. The objective is to compromise, to compromise yourself away from your creator, away from yourself, away from your truth. And man ain't got time for that. Or woman ain't got time for that. Not even no man. Woman ain't got no time to compromise. I know that everybody is. It makes it so difficult to sustain your culture, because how do you sustain culture in a culture that sees you so low? And you want to do better. You want to feel better than yourself, but you want to go past the liberation part. And I don't know how you can do that without losing your soul. I just don't see how you can do it. And then, how do you bring up your children? Who teaches them about their black self? Who does that? Who does that bit for them? Who's responsible for teaching them about their black self? Because a lot of the time, we have a problem with giving balance to any situation. So like I said, black people, the culture is very, very important. The black culture is very important. We're affected in Africa, and we're affected in Britain, and we're affected across the globe. But like I said, there's been a lot of ratifications of this, in Africa. They're fighting back, they're ratifying against what happened in Berlin. And people are trying to, free themselves from these draconian situations that we have in Africa with Europeans. The Africans, so many Africans are affected by what goes on in Africa. Brother Bless, are you in the house? You want to say something in my conclusion? Because I thought you were sick. Do you want to come and say a few words? No, Brother Bless, you're here. Okay.
That's it. That chair's not for. This chair's for the guests. There's a reason why.
Okay. So you're not on the mic right now.
No, I'm zipping up.
Brother Bless is not very well. So we pray for Brother Bless. He's a wonderful young man. So. Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is that, like I said before, sorry about that. There was a bit of an interruption, but basically, being black. We're a target for being black. Being confident, we're a target, but there's nothing else I want to be. There's nothing else I'm doing to the end. And like I said to people, we win this battle at the end. We win. We've won already. We just haven't seen it. We haven't caught up with. We won already yet. So I love the music that we create. I love everything about black people. but because we're so battered and programmed, there's so many sick people. It's really hard to know the good And when you meet the good, they're amazing, and I love them so much. Listen, I love good people of every nationality, but every nationality looks after themselves. That's basic. To love yourself, to love your offspring, to love who you are. The Creator made us to love ourselves. But right now, we have real issues. We need psychologists, we need gurus, we need healers over our people so they can learn to love themselves for themselves. You know, we need something, though, because I feel sad about what some of the silly little trivial things I see amongst people. And I also I recognise the level of immaturity amongst us that are growing older in the West. A lot of us sometimes want to hold on to youth, there's nothing wrong with youth. I would still hip out myself and still be flexing like that. But my intelligence and my intellect and my experiences, I bring them with me. If that keeps you young, that's a beautiful thing. But you don't have to act, like you can't learn anything, as you grow older, so that you can give back to your children. You have to have some wisdom for the years that you've been on the planet, or you make no sense. And that's the problem. I find a lot of people in their 50s and they're acting like they're 21. I don't understand it. Get over yourself. Anyway, I'm not judging, I'm not judging at all. I love all of you. I love black people. I want us to do better and respect and love ourselves better than we do. Whenever I see good communication, I'm always blessed by that, because I try and put out what I want back for myself. Let's just be a little bit more secure. We know how the colonizers have had their day, but their day is coming to an end. You must know this. What are you going to do when their day has come to the end? How are you going to move? We have to learn how to get back to basics and respect each other a bit better. All right? So, yeah. So that's me, really. That's me. I'm going to play a couple of tunes before I leave. This is the Sista Morino show. It was a bit short and sweet, but I really felt that the music was going to be the guider today. And I wanted to big up some of the artists locally that do wonderful work for the community, and sometimes don't get the opportunity to showcase their music, and their music's amazing. So I'm gonna go on to these last couple of tunes. And yeah, this is a Sista Morino show, and the Almighty bless all of us and continue to bless us, because there's still hope. Life is still good. When the Creator says yes, nobody can say no. I don't care how dismal the day. If the Almighty says yes, who can say no to you? Not one. All right, so bless you, bless radio audience. This is not about anything racial. I'm just race first. Race first. Put yourself first. White people respect you when you know yourself, more than the one who goes, yes, massa, yes, massa, yes. He might not necessarily like me, but he'll respect that I know myself. Let's get over ourselves and learn how to respect each other. Okay, so the next tune, The Storm Is Over, Don Campbell.
See the sky. Sometimes when I'm standing, it seems like I don't walk for miles, and my heart could be crying, dead in the middle of a smile. But then I climbed the hills and saw the mountains. I hollered help 'cause I was lost. Then I felt the strong wind, heard a small voice saying the storm is over. The storm is over now. I can see the sunshine somewhere beyond the clouds. I feel heaven. Heaven is over me. Come on and set me free. In the midst of my battle, all hope was gone. Downtown in a rushed crowd, and felt all alone.
Yes, that was Don Campbell. Yeah, some uplifting music for the future. You know, I had some good news today. I'm happy about the good news. I've sowed a good seed, and the seed, you know, it harvested. You know, I like some good seeds to harvest. As difficult as the times may seem, there's beautiful things happening, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So I'm just going to play my last tune now. Next week we're going to come thicker and stronger next week with some, you know, much more product for the ears. So yeah, I'm going to end with one of my favourites. I love this woman, Marcia Griffiths, so much, and I've played this tune before, but you're going to always get Marcia Griffiths with me because she is amazing. And I'm a little bit in a good mood today, so I want to play Marcia Griffiths. Yeah, so Marcia Griffiths is going to hit you with her beautiful tones, and I'm going to say thank you from Blessed Radio 1, and big up yourself, black people. I love you so much. Love you like food.
In time.